All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live online morning show. Sorry, we got a late start this morning. Program was not working properly. Now, I said I put on social media, Rudy Giuliani, a man on a mission. Okay? And this guy goes on and makes a comment. Why do I always have to disclose things? I mean, I feel like I always am disclosing something. This happens to be my brother, Jerry. Jerry goes on and says exactly what I was going to say. He's my brother. Giuliani cleaned up New York after Dinkins trashed the city. Okay? Now, Mayor Dinkins trashed this city, okay? We don't have to go back. If you know anything about New York City, the trash, the crime, the guys trying to clean your windshield while you're trying to cross the bridge or in traffic, it was a mess, a disaster. Giuliani cleaned up New York City. I mean, they continue. 43, okay? The man is on a mission. We're going to get here in a minute, all right? Now, I want to go through the Ukrainian. I don't have time to do it all. You got to do your own research. But Ukrainian meddling in the 2016 election. Not that Russia did not. And that's what Cruz was trying to say yesterday. But I want you to look at this screen. Now, they're laughing at us, okay? Because we're left with no choice, folks. You're either to believe the two guys on the screen right now are total, not a little bit, total dumbasses, or brilliant, not middle of the road, okay? Now, the word evidence has been diluted by the Democrats. We don't know what evidence is anymore. I'm serious. We're going to look at that. No, they have mounds of evidence. Evidence usually can prove a crime. They have no crime to charge the president with, but the media helps them deliver their message with the word evidence, mounting evidence, okay? And Trump unchecked. I told you that last. The word is Trump unchecked. Leaving Trump unchecked, Trump will rig the 2020 election, and mountains and pages of evidence. Again, usually evidence will prove a crime, but they don't have a crime for their impeachment articles this week. We don't want to go there yet. I want to talk about Ukraine, okay? Totally. Now, the bald guy, Rudy, okay? He cleaned up New York City, okay? When Dinkins trashed the city, he was the prosecutor in New York. He's no dummy when it comes to investigations. It's the deep state actors got to get these actors off the stage, vote them out. That's from my brother Jerry this morning. Now, Rudy Giuliani, just do the research. First of all, before he becomes mayor of New York City, he's a prosecutor, an investigator. He's done it all. He's brilliant. There was a hit. The mob had a hit on him that they took off. They took it off him, but there was a hit on Giuliani. Giuliani, you watch TV and you see, the old-fashioned pegboard up there, and they put the pictures of the perps, right? And then they draw a string to this one, and this one's connected to this one, and little Joe Bag of Donuts is over here, and little Billy the Kitty is over here, and Jimmy Two Nose is over here, and Larry the Ears is over here. That's not a joke. Watch one of them damn mob movies. You'll find out. Double Weasel is over here, and Sneezy is over here. So anyhow, Giuliani knows corruption probably better than anybody in the U.S. of A. He has prosecuted more corrupt characters that know how to hide things. Yeah, I'm running a garbage business over here. I got 3 garbage trucks. Yeah, but you live in a $2.8 million house. And you got a Rolls Royce and a Mercedes and a Maserati. The garbage business is good, right? Giuliani knows all that. Understands what he's doing. Now, here's another guy from New York City, Donald Trump. Let me tell you something, okay? Donald Trump from New York City, which hand is it in? You missed it. Which hand is it in? You missed it. They know those games. They're from the city. They know all the scams. They know all the deal. Now, I don't want to make that, I don't want to say, well, okay, but he's on a mission. Let's go to the email I sent you that says Rudy, just Rudy. Let's watch that one, okay?
Trump says his personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, is preparing a report for the Justice Department and Congress over allegations of misconduct the former New York City mayor says he uncovered during a recent trip to Ukraine. Speaking to reporters at the White House over the weekend, President Trump said Giuliani had not briefed him on the findings yet, but said there's a lot of good information. Now, Trump denied Giuliani's trip to Ukraine was at his directive. This comes as Giuliani has made repeated claims about shady interactions between the Obama administrations and Ukrainian officials. Giuliani is also a central figure in the impeachment probe into whether President Trump pressured Ukraine to open a politically motivated investigation into former Vice President Joe Biden.
Okay, if you notice, that wasn't NBC, that wasn't ABC, that wasn't CBS. That wasn't CNN, MSNBC, that wasn't Morning Joe. Did you notice that? They're nervous. The Democrats are shocked. Why the hell is Rudy Giuliani getting on a damn plane and going over there? You really think Trump's taking that chance? You really believe when they come out and they say, the Washington Post says inside information, an unnamed source says, Attorney General Barr has gone to President Trump and said, Rudy Giuliani is a little iffy here. Okay, let me see. I got another one. Let me see. Let's go with Trump Rudy. Okay? Let's go with that one. Trump Rudy. All right?
Well, I just know he came back from someplace and he's going to make a report, I think, to the Attorney General and to Congress. He says he has a lot of good information. I have not spoken to him about that information, but Rudy, as you know, has been one of the great crime fighters of the last 50 years. And he did get back from Europe just recently, and I know he has not told me what he's found, but I think he wants to go before Congress and say, and also to the Attorney General and the Department of Justice, I hear he's found plenty.
I hear he's found plenty. Rudy's one of the greatest crime fighters. Now, if I had a graphics department, which we do, but they're busy. They're working on things, okay? I can't throw it in there, but I would love to have a Rudy Giuliani. Maybe if somebody does this and it just happens as a crime fighter, I would like to take a picture, a good picture of him doing something, and put Rudy Giuliani, 50 years of crime fighting. I mean, the president says, I hear he has something big, okay? Now, what is that picture number one? Is that number one? Give me number one. Now, we don't know. Here's a couple shots. I cannot pronounce these Ukrainian public officials. Here is the guy. You got to go do your own research. Go for your own pronunciation. This is the guy right here that says that millions, 900 million went in Joe Biden's pocket. I mean, we're hearing stuff I don't know. I can't confirm it. 5.6 billion disappeared in Ukraine funding from Obama administration, and the actual State Department that set up over in Ukraine was begging the media not to report it. I don't know. But God forbid you say Ukraine and the media goes berserk. They're Russian talking points. But here's Rudy over there. I don't know what the hell he's doing, but he's on a mission. He's quite a damn crime fighter. Okay? Number two is another shot of Rudy over there in the Ukraine. Give me number three. Big thumbs up. Rudy, he's over there. And I got to try to pronounce this guy's name, number four. This is the guy that did the press conference. We talked about it months ago over in Ukraine. Now, that being said, the president said Rudy has something. Okay? Crime fighting. He's a man on a mission. All right? So we're going to stay on Giuliani for a minute. I understand what you're saying. At 9 o'clock in just 20 minutes, they're going to be talking impeachment. I don't give a rat's. We've got to work on the stuff that counts. We got to work on the next election. We got to figure out what's going on out there. And we have it. You're working with me. Stay here. Now, okay, so let's go. So if you say Ukraine, they freak out. Now, they're laughing at us out loud. All right? Let me give you the reason why. Because it all comes down, okay, to this one person that wrote in an opening statement during her public testimony with the Intelligence Committee, Fiona Hill. She put it all to rest. The media said, now everything after this is laughter. So let's go ahead and play Fiona Hill video. This is the whole thing. This is why the media says it's a done deal. She is the authority. What she says goes. Roll the tape.
Some of you on this committee appear to believe that Russia and its security services did not conduct a campaign against our country, and that perhaps, somehow, for some reason, Ukraine did. This is a fictional narrative that has been perpetrated and propagated by the Russian security services themselves. The unfortunate truth is that Russia was the foreign power that systematically attacked our democratic institutions in 2016. In the course of this investigation, I would ask that you please not promote politically driven falsehoods that so clearly advance Russian interests. As Republicans and Democrats have agreed for decades, Ukraine is a valued partner of the United States, and it plays an important role in our national security. And as I told the committee last month, I refuse to be part of an effort to legitimize an alternate narrative that the Ukrainian government is a US adversary and that Ukraine, not Russia, attacked us in 2016. These fictions are harmful even if they're deployed for purely domestic political purposes. When we are consumed by partisan rancor, we cannot combat these external forces as they seek to divide us against each other, degrade our institutions, and destroy the faith of the American people in our democracy.
Okay, I will give Fiona Hill a lot of credit for a couple things, okay? Publicly, she can really read. I mean, I can't. You know what happens. I know you cringe out there. You're like, oh, let's go to the article. Oh, my God, BKP's going to read to us, all right? I understand. I get it, okay? Man, she can read. That's number one. Number two, she has an accent. So it's like straight out of a spy movie. So she must be believable because her delivery, you must, and when she says this is a fictional narrative, it's done. It's done. It's a fictional narrative. Alternative narrative. Alternative explanation. It's not true. It's an alternative. It's fictional. All else is just a laughing matter. Now, let's go to Chuck Todd. And I'll tell you where to come back on that. I don't know what I got that one named at. What's that named? Do I have it, Chuck Todd? Yeah, Chuck Todd, Ted Cruz. Roll that, and when I tell you to come back, come back.
Do you believe Ukraine meddled in the American election in 2016?
I do, and I think there's considerable evidence.
You do? You do?
Yes,
look,
and Chuck, let me say.
This is, Senator, this sort of in the American election in 2016?
I do, and I think there's considerable evidence.
You do? You do?
Yes,
look,
and Chuck, let me say.
This is, Senator.
Now leave that point. Come back to me. Stay there, okay? Because there's a point we're going to make. You do? You do? I got to write that down. That's got to be, I want to start having Chuck Todd reactions when I do interviews right here in this room. You do? Did you hear the laughter? Now, on a show like that, there's camera guys, and there's producers, and there's the person running around with 3 clipboards and the coffee and donut kid, whatever. So I don't know, what was there, 15 people in the studio? And they heard that. You do? And the laughter. I don't know if you can hear that at home. The laughter, because see, we just watched Fiona Hill said what? It's an alternative narrative. It's fictional. You do? Now, when I say that, remember, okay, because I'm going to show you something here, all right? Remember when the news would get reported and political campaigns would rush overnight to do a response commercial? I remember, like, this is all the way back in the old days, not even 10 years ago. This is the old days. Remember when if you did a clip on one of these morning shows, or you said something, you had a team of Democrat political kids that were working on campaigns, clipping it together and rushing it to get out a response commercial? They don't have to do that anymore. They have no need. There's a story out on how the Republicans spent $10 million. Now listen to me, because we're going to show you all this. There's a story out where the Republicans spent $10 million in ad buys in districts that Trump won in 2016 that are currently held by Democrats. We'll talk about that too. All right? So the 10 million ad buy, why? And the comparison, will show you every bit of this morning, to the Democrats' $1 million. Very little. Why would Democrats have to spend their money doing ads in these districts when they have Chuck Todd, when they have CNN, and even Fox News? Why would they have to? These people are doing the commercials for them. In the old days, let me look at this. I'm going to tell you right now. Hold on a second, okay? First of all, we're going to go through real quick. I want to pick out a couple pictures, okay? And 62. Because I want you to hold that video right where it's at, because there's a reason we're doing this. Senator Cruz joins claim of Ukrainian 2016 meddling. CNN, 1:03 a.m., 4:03 in the morning. Senator Kennedy has also pushed conspiracy theory as defense of Trump. See, Fiona Hill said it's debunked. It was, it was fictional. So every time you and I talk about it, so why is Rudy there? What is going on? Why is Lindsey Graham a nervous wreck because something might come out in Ukraine with him? Why is Ted Cruz pushing it? Why? Conspiracy. Everything we say that counter, they label it. They do their own commercials for them. Okay? I'm going to get to you. Number 60. Trump says Giuliani will deliver Ukrainian findings at Attorney General in Congress. Ukraine. Wait about the day. Wait. Oh, I got to slow down because I'm so excited about this. The ratings suck. They suck for impeachment. They suck for Adam Schiff. The only damn reason somebody's watching any of this BS is to see and hear the Republicans and see the facial expressions Doug Collins makes. Oh my God. And all the point of order. That's it. It's the only reason they're watching. They suck. They suck. They suck. Ratings are dead. Sorry, bad word. But you let Giuliani go to Congress. Boom. I'm telling you, Jack, the clock will stop. Do you notice they're not really asking? Pay close damn attention. They want Mick Mulvaney. They want the mustache, whatever, Bolton, whatever the hell his name. They want all these other people. They're very slow to say they want Rudy Giuliani. We want Rudy Giuliani in here immediately. Ooh, wait a minute. We better cool our heels on that one. Ratings. The day Rudy goes to Congress, boom, clock will stop and America will watch. That was pretty good. Clock will stop and America will watch. Write that down, damn it. I'm in a great mood this morning. It's Monday. That's why I'm in a good mood. I know you don't like it, but I love it. I get to come back to work. All right. Where were we? Oh, okay. Slowly but surely, we're going to creep that way. They're laughing at us. This is what they want you to believe. Number 52, I told you, here's what's happening. Why would Democrats need to do commercials when they have this? Washington Post bar warns Trump about Giuliani. Tells president the former NYC mayor has become a liability. How do we know that? Because CNN said it? How do we know that? maybe Barr has briefed the president. He said, look, if Rudy's going to go over there, here's a couple things he has to, don't cross this, don't cross that. That way he doesn't get it in the ringer, and we got to bring him in and ask questions. Bada bing, bada boom. Maybe that happened. But no, Barr warns Trump about Giuliani. Okay, now, I'm going to hold here. Can you go back to the video? Because wait a minute, then pay attention. The whole thing is Chuck Todd. Actually, let's just go to the beginning of that video when I tell you. Chuck Todd asked Ted Cruz. It's all the news this morning. They all laugh at Ted Cruz. And then Chuck Todd is prepared. You understand? He had the question. He had Media Matters talking points. He's prepared with this stuff immediately. Watch how Chuck Todd's ready to try to discredit Ted Cruz no matter what he says after that question. The question set up, now discredit him. Okay? Go with it.
Do you believe Ukraine meddled in the American election in 2016?
I do, and I think there's considerable evidence.
You do? You do?
Yes,
Look,
and Chuck, let me say.
This is, Senator, this sort of strikes me as odd because you went through a primary campaign with this president. He launched a birtherism campaign against you. He went after your faith. He threatened to, quote, spill the beans about your wife about something. He pushed a National Enquirer story, which we now know he had a real relationship
Chuck,
with the editors
you're
of the National
dragging
Enquirer.
up all that garbage.
Senator,
That's very kind of you.
Let me ask you this.
Stop right there. Now, don't leave that point. The graphic was ready. Did you see that? The graphic was ready. They knew Cruz would defend the president. They know Cruz knows the truth. They know Ted Cruz is going to say it. They had the graphic ready. And then what is that? Is that Chuck Todd's Scooby-Doo impression? You do? Was that Scooby-Doo or Chuck Todd? You believe it ready? You do? All right, go right. Watch, they had the graphic ready. They're running it. This is the most corrupt thing in the world. We need to round these damn people up and put their asses in Guantanamo Bay. I'm telling you, the facts are right here. They don't lie. It's called evidence. Because God knows nobody knows what the hell evidence is anymore. Because evidence is supposed to lead you to a crime. This ought to be a crime. High crimes and misdemeanors. Go back to the tape.
You're dragging up all that garbage.
Senator,
That's very kind of you.
Let me ask you this. Is it not possible that this president is capable of creating a false narrative about somebody in order to help him politically?
Except that's not what happened. The president released the transcript of the phone call. You can read what was said on the phone call.
Yeah, and the Bidens.
Let me point out again.
And you yourself thought the Biden part was troubling.
Chuck, let me point out a game that the media is playing. A question that you've asked a number of people is you've said to senators sort of aghast, do you believe that Ukraine and not Russia interfered in the election? Now that in a court of law would be struck as a misleading question. Of course Russia interfered in our election. Nobody looking at the evidence disputes that.
But what the President of the United States does.
Look, on the evidence, Russia clearly interfered in our election. But here's the game the media is playing. Because Russia interfered, the media pretends nobody else did. Ukraine blatantly interfered in our election. The sitting ambassador from Ukraine wrote an op-ed blasting Donald Trump during the election season.
Do you know why he did that?
That is unusual.
What did Donald Trump as a candidate say?
Very definitively, Ted Cruz, the senator from Texas, would not sit on there and say Ukraine meddled in our election that clear if it didn't happen. Now, they had the graphic ready. They had it ready for this morning. Why would you? Why would you buy ad campaign space if they're going to do the work? Go to number 51. CNN this morning, 4:03 a.m. Eastern time. Yes, I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I turn on CNN. That's a hell of a way to start your day. I never thought of it that way. I get up and start my damn day with a cup of coffee. The dogs, we go downstairs. The pooch goes down there. I love my pooch. I love my coffee. And damn, I turn on CNN. What a hell of a way to get it kicked off. 4:03 this morning Eastern time. Senator Cruz joins claims of Ukraine 2016 meddling. We're taking this all the way to Biden today. You need to stay put because we're going to connect some dots, okay? Senator Kennedy has also pushed conspiracy theory as defense for Trump. Rudy's on a mission, damn it. He's not over there for nothing. He ain't nobody's fool. He's a 50-year crime fighter. The graphic was ready. CNN was ready, okay? All right, then let's go to number 50, all right? 50. Senator Cruz joins claim of Ukraine 2016 meddling. There's Kennedy. They're pushing that this morning. And here is number 49. I'm showing you what they're doing this morning. This is top news. This is 4:03 a.m. I mean, this takes precedence over Pearl Harbor. That's right. Over the shooting that killed the three military Saudi national, whatever. I don't want to get it wrong. This laughing at Ted Cruz and you, America, right here. Senator Cruz claims right here. There's at 4:03 in the morning. And see what else we got here. We'll go to impeachment in a minute. 44, connecting all these damn dots. Republicans launch anti-impeachment ad blitz. $10 million spent on Facebook and TV ads in districts that are Democrat that Trump won in 2016. You might think, well, why are the Republicans doing this ad blitz as opposed to the Democrats? I'm showing you. The media does the ads for them. Okay, number 43, where I showed you this. Trump Giuliani says he had a lot of good information. I have good information. Okay. Number 42, the Washington Post inside Giuliani's dual role. Power broker for hire. He's got business cards. Oh, you need me to go to Ukraine? I'll be on the next flight. Where you need me next? Huh? Former Chief of Staff John F. Kelly tried everything he could to limit Giuliani's reach, scheduling his meetings with Trump at the White House residence so he would not interact with other White House staff. The reason you do that, damn it, is if you come in and you interact with White House staff, the majority of all the damn White House staff are spies from the friggin' Obama administration, and that's where you get your whistleblower. What the hell is wrong with you damn people? You know as well as I do. You can't have Giuliani rolling down the hallway to the Oval Office. By hell, Schiff will launch another investigation because he had breakfast and he had the eggs Benedict and somebody rushed out. I'm not joking. It's full of spies. So Kelly tried to limit Giuliani's reach. No, he didn't. He did not. That's my opinion. He said, look, Mr. President, you might want to have him on the third floor down there at the end and you guys have a cup of coffee or something. We can't have him in here because next thing you know, there's going to be unnamed sources leaking all kinds of SH asterisk asterisk. I love my job. Former administration officials said Kelly also told others he did not want to be a part of calls or meeting with Giuliani, so he couldn't be called to testify, so he couldn't be subpoenaed. What the hell? Anyhow, let's continue to have this much fun. Number 41, White House aides fear. They're in fear. I mean, we're shaking every day. They're in fear. Giuliani has used his role as the president's lawyer to promote the interests of private clients. He's got business cards. Fretting that they do not know who he represents. Who the hell y'all represent? Who do you represent? What's really in it for you, Rudy? Rudy, what are you up to? Why do commercials when you have stuff like this? You don't have to spend a dime. Number 40. Giuliani on Ukraine findings. All of my conversations are privileged, and he can disclose what is comfortable with. I am in the process of still analyzing what I've received. He's analyzing. Rudy's on a mission. Let's keep going here. I got a little more. Number 37. Not just Kelly. Barr. Trump. Associated Press. Giuliani wants to take information to Barr. Congress. Okay. Number 36. Giuliani says he has a lot of good information. Here we go. Now, you got John Kelly. Now you got to have William Barr. They know what they're doing. They know where to keep Rudy a little over here, a little over there. They know where the spies are. They know. They're not whistleblowers, damn it. They're spies, okay? You're going to try to 64 million or 63 million votes, whatever it was. You're going to try to discredit and void those voters with an unnamed source. What the hell? Anyhow, go to 35. Barr disrupts key inspector general finding after FBI's Russia investigation. Attorney General Barr has told associates he disagrees with the Justice Department's Inspector General. One of the key findings in the upcoming report that the FBI had enough information in July 2016 to justify launching an investigation into members of the Trump campaign. Okay? That's Barr on the IG. All right, we'll talk about that in a minute. Just throwing him in there. All right. Number 30. We're going to go through these and then we're going to jump to we're going to go straight to the Joe Biden, okay? Because I'm going to tell you why the defense is in high gear right now. Okay? Impeachment's not working. We're going to talk about impeachment before we close. It's my promise. Cruz promotes conspiracy at Ukraine. Number 30. Yeah, at Ukraine. Blatant interference in U.S. elections. Blatant interference, okay? We'll get to that. Let's see. I already did number 20, I think it is. There is, yes, meet the press. 5 a.m. Central Time, first thing out of the box with Morning Joe. This is their 6 o'clock, laughing at you and I, laughing at Ted Cruz. You do? That's my Chuck Todd impression. Yes, I believe Ukraine meddled in our election. You do? Scooby-Doo? All right, so anyhow, number 20, right there it is. Right. You see, the reason I want you to show you that is at 5 a.m. Very first thing, Central Time, 6 a.m. Okay? Here's the second one, Ted Cruz, number 19. And we all know number 17, former White House advisor on Russia, Fiona Hill. That's the reason. She said it was a fictional narrative. You know, don't waste your time asking me those questions. She has shut it all down. She's a leading authority, okay? Let's see, number 14, Senator Cruz, Ukraine blatant interference in 2016 election. Number 13, Joe and the Shrink-a-Dink, the black guy, the domestic terrorist, Al Sharpton, Senator Cruz there, blatantly interfered. Ukraine blatantly interfered. Okay, number 12, this is the way they opened this morning. Okay, just showing you everything interfered. Okay, and let me show you this and see what you say. Go to number 7. Now, this is if you go to Webster's Dictionary. You got to go to Webster's Dictionary, okay? Evidence. Something that furnishes proof. Evidence, okay? Something that furnishes proof, evidence. But the interesting thing to me, and I know you think, if you just go to Google and you type in evidence and you do a search, go to number 8. Now, what I'm saying is, you think I'm silly. Evidence, evidence, evidence. Mounds of evidence, okay? We'll get to impeachment in a minute. Evidence. Just Google it, hit evidence. It'll come up. The available body of facts, okay? That's good, the available body of facts. But Google has it written as or. It's the intent. What was the intent? What was your intent? What was the intent? See, Hillary's intent, okay? The intent in Benghazi. The intent, right? Or information indicating whether a belief or proposition is true or valid. Or, read the end of that. Intent. Evidence is changed. You prosecute on evidence. Because when you hear the news report, the deep state corporate corrupt media report, they talk about mounds of evidence. Evidence shows. But they're not going to be able to actually identify a crime in the articles of impeachment. Let's take a break. Let's tie Ukraine to Joe Biden next. Don't leave.